Hey, Miss W here. Hopefully this helped with your transversal assignment on Delta Math. All right, so this is example problems. A few of them are the exact problems that you have, but for right now, let's get started. You should have that copy of your parallel lines transversal sheet I told you to print or make a copy of it. If not, you're going to have to go back and do this because I'm going to refer to them because you have 4 angles that are congruent to each other, meaning if you have a problem, you set them equal to each other. And they're the vertical, the alternate interior, the alternate exterior, and the corresponding. And the other ones, the other set, you have supplementary and consecutive interior, and if you have these, you add them together to equal 180, and then you solve the equation. So that's the only thing I'm going to give you on this video because you need to go print that sheet or copy it and refer to it. So with that being said, I'm looking, and the first thing you do, you've got parallel lines here. This line here is your transversal. So you look to see what the angles are. I've got an X and a 55. So what you do is you see, well, are they on inside, in between my parallel lines, or are they outside? Well, we can tell that they're inside. So inside would be interior something. The next thing you do is you ask yourself, are they on the same side of the transversal? And the answer is yes. They're on the same side and inside. They can only be either they can only be corresponding or consecutive interior. So you look and see, are they in the same position? Is this and this value, are they both in the same position? Well, we can see no, this is underneath the parallel line, this is on top. So that means they are consecutive interior. So you add them together to equal 180. And then you subtract 55 from both sides to get 125. So your answer would be 125 there. Okay, so the next problem, you got those 4 consecutive angles and then the other ones that are equal 180. So you have to figure out what you have. So you look at your transversal here. Are your angles, are they talking about the angles that they give you inside your parallel lines, or are they on the outside? Well, we can tell that they're inside, they're in between. So we know that now. So now we have to ask ourselves, are they on the same side of the transversal, or on the opposite sides? So X is on the right side of the transversal. 52 is on the left side. They're both in between, so it has to be interior. They're on opposite sides, so opposite is alternate interior. Alternate interior angles are congruent. They're one of the 4, so you set them equal to each other. So X equals 52 degrees. So moving on, again, I've got a problem here. Here's my transversal. My angles are in between my parallel lines, so they're going to be interior. They're either going to be the alternate interior, opposite side of the transversals, or consecutive interior, same side. So looking here, the X is on the right side. I'm following the transversal down. 141 is on the same side as the X, so they have to be consecutive interior. If they're consecutive interior, you add these 2 together to equal 180. So as you're seeing a pattern here, you can see that it's going to either be equal to each other or they're going to be equal to 180. So solving that, we get X, if we subtract 141 from each side, we get X as 39. Moving on. Okay, now here's where this is an actual problem that you're going to have. So I am not solving it all the way, but I am going to get it set up for you. So again, I've got my transversal, and then I've got an angle here. Okay, this one's inside and this one's outside, so they're not interior anything. So you ask yourself, are they in the same position on the parallel lines? So here's my parallel lines. This angle here is just underneath it on the right side of the parallel, just underneath the parallel line, and it's on the right side of the transversal. This angle here is on the right side of the transversal, just underneath. So that means they're corresponding. Corresponding is one of the four that are congruent. So you set it equal to yourself. So I'm going to set this problem up for you. It's up to you to solve. Okay? Remember, you want to get your x's on one side. I'll let you finish this equation. So you are finishing 9 equals 2x plus 5 and getting your answer for x, and you're finding the value of x. Okay, next problem that you have. Okay, so again, I'm looking at this one, and if I look at these two angles together, they form a straight line. So if it's a straight line, they're supplementary, and if they're supplementary, they have to add them together to equal 180. So x plus 5 plus x minus 13 equals 180. Combine your like terms. Okay, I'm not going to solve it. You combine your like terms together. You've got an x here and an x here, a 5 and a 13, and then you solve for x. So I'm setting this problem up. You're solving it. Moving on to the next one that you have. Okay, so you have this problem here. Okay, both angles are in between, so it's going to either be alternate interior or it's going to be consecutive interior. These would equal 180, these would equal each other. So looking at my transversal, my 7x minus 4 is on the right side of the transversal. My 3x plus 28 is on the left side. So they are alternate interior. So I set them equal to each other. So 7x minus 4 equals 3x plus 28. And then you solve for x. And you can finish this equation out. Solve for x. And then the last one that you have, these are on the same parallel line. They share the same vertex, meaning that they are vertical. So vertical angles, they are congruent to each other. So 2x minus 24 equals x plus 5. Solve for x. Solve that equation for x. So I hope this helps. Have a wonderful day.